what do you think is the impact of your music on the young people? And Mick Jagger said, our music is calculated to drive the kids to sex. And Elder Cook says, I must have looked surprised because he said, well, it's not my fault if they're doing it. We're just making a lot of money. In fact, he explained the reason we're filming this, the reason I'm flying from Mexico is we were just doing a music video and we can do it for a lot less money there. Now, I don't have any Mick Jagger music at my house, but I'm just trying to say, if Mick Jagger had that kind of agenda, do you think there could be any others in the music industry who might think the same way? First, what do they want to do? Drive the spirit out of you and then break you against the law of chastity. Our music is, he didn't say, well, they might listen to it, but that doesn't mean they're going to do it. No, he said our music is calculated. It's designed, it's intended to drive the kids to sex. And that's why you have to be so careful. I was talking about this once, and this man came up to me, said, I'm a bishop, and my son had come home from Media Play, and he had a bunch of these CDs, and I said, son, would you just read the lyrics, just open up the things, read the lyrics, and tell me if that's compatible with the thing that you stand up and say on Sundays. You know, I'll become converted to the gospel of Jesus Christ and live by its teachings. I'll magnify my priesthood callings. And just read that and see if they're compatible. And to this wonderful young priest's credit, he read it and he said, no, they're not. And he threw them all out. Now, they have the courage to do that because I'm telling you, somebody's after your sword, wants to take it away. And we've got to be tougher than we've ever been before because we're in a 43-page world. Mick Jagger wants to drive the kids to sex, to break the law of chastity. I want you to notice, this is so cool to me because in 1972, President Harold B. Lee said, Satan's greatest threat today, and I love it when prophets use strong words like that, not one of his great threats, but his greatest threat today is to destroy the family and make a mockery of the law of chastity and the sanctity of the marriage covenant. 1 and 2, destroy the family, and it's almost like we need a, proclamation on the family or something. Yeah, well, it happened, didn't it? He could see that way back in 1972 when the #1 show was probably, Happy Days or something like that, is amazing. But he saw it coming. Destroy the family and mock the law of chastity, and that's what we're seeing in a lot of the media today. Okay, what about modesty? This is what it says in For the Strength of Youth. Immodest clothing includes short shorts and skirts, tight clothing. Whenever I read this, there's young women's leaders, read it slower, read it slower. It's like, okay. Immodest clothing includes short shorts and skirts, tight clothing, shirts that do not cover the stomach. And you know what? That was not in here. That was added since, Sister Spears. Shirts that do not cover the stomach, and other revealing attire. Young women should wear clothing that covers the shoulder and avoid clothing that is low cut in the front or back or revealing in any other manner. Now, lots of times young men tune out when you're talking about modesty. No, stay tuned, listen. Young men should also maintain modesty in their appearance. All should avoid extremes in clothing, appearance, and hairstyle. May I suggest a principle behind all of this? One time I met this kid at a youth conference that had this red hair thing going. I mean, it was big. It was like the Mars lander is probably really on his head right now. But here's the principle. Everybody, look at me. Now notice where you all looked. Now wouldn't it be weird if I said, look at me, and you all looked at my right shoe? I said, look at me, and you all looked at my elbow. And you go through your yearbook at the end of the years, and it's everybody's right elbow, No, because where is you? You is here, see? And I really believe this is a true principle. If something takes something away from your eyes, that's you, that could be violating the principle. This kid's hair was such that it was really hard to talk to him. Because you used to be, hi, how are you? And it was that sort of thing. It was very hard to talk to him, okay? There's another trend among some young men that wear their pants really low, to the point where you're like, boy, that young man better. He's gonna, And it takes your eyes away from the eyes. Would a priesthood holder who holds the priesthood of God want to dress in a way that looks like their pants are gonna fall off all the time? And so, I think that's a true principle.